Tonight on Let It Rip.
Tudor Dixon. Tudor, thank you, Tudor. Thank you. I heard you're doing well.
She got a shout out at the Trump rally. Now the West Michigan Republican is ready to let it rip. What Tudor Dixon has to say about the police killing in Grand Rapids, how she would have handled the pandemic, and why she thinks your tax dollars should go to both public and private schools. Time now to Let It Rip. Charlie Langton joins me as we continue our in-depth coverage of the governor's race tonight. We welcome another Republican candidate, West Michigan's own Tudor Dixon, who's both a former Steel executive and cable news broadcaster. And we're going to begin with news of the day because really this is making headlines across the country. As a candidate running for governor, when it comes to the Grand Rapids police releasing that video showing an officer shoot an unarmed black man, 26-year-old Patrick Leoya, you say you're unequivocally behind the police in this case. Why?
I would argue that he wasn't unarmed. He had taken the police officer's taser. For a minute, the police officer asked him to drop the taser, demanded he drop the taser. He refused to do that. He's struggling. That police officer was at the point where he knew his life was in danger. Why
not wait for the investigation to continue? Why just jump in a day after the video comes out?
Why do we continually glorify criminals and criminalize police? Why are we saying that the police officer was wrong right off the bat? This is a new thing that has happened in the past few years where we criminalize our police. We struggle to get police into our police officers, into our departments today. And police don't want to be in these police departments because of this very thing. Because when there's an incident like this, the police officer is immediately criminalized.
But we're talking about the use of deadly force. And even in the manual for Grand Rapids Police, as well as Michigan State Police, the Detroit Police, they say the use of deadly force only if a person is fleeing who allegedly committed a violent felony. This was a bad license plate.
He's in a situation where this man has his taser. He's in a situation where his life is at risk and he doesn't know who else in the community is at risk. If that officer is tased and he grabs his gun, what is the next step there? How much danger is the community in?
You let him go. You let him go. It's a bad license plate. The car was there. He had a passenger. Let him go. I guess the point, though, is that this is deadly force. And I understand it's controversial, but do you think, though, as governor, that policies need to be changed or maybe reinforced because people are not being police officers anymore? This probably is not going to help.
I think it's not going to help that the media immediately comes out and criminalizes the police officer in this case. That's the problem that we face, and we face it across the country, that our police are under attack. I've talked to many of our retired police officers, and they say, I left the force because this is the exact reason. You could easily lose your life and go behind bars or get killed, and nobody's going to come to the defense of the police officer. If it had gone the other way and the police officer were the one who were dead today, would we be talking about it?
Tudor, let me ask you this. For the family of Leoya and anybody who's watching right now whose son or daughter has been involved with a police altercation, mistakes are made, but should he have paid with his life?
What needed to happen is that he needed to obey what the police officer was said. If we don't have law and order in this country, what do we have? That is the basic right of people to have law and order. So you adhere to what police officers say. I back the police officers. Always.
What can you as governor do to get more people, good qualified people, to join the police and retain them and stay as a police officer?
We have to seriously fund the police. We have to defend our police officers. We have to support our police officers, and we have to train our police officers.
When you take a look at Governor